Hey friend, thanks so much for joining me again for more Airport CEO. So with all this money that we've got in the bank, we did put down our medium runway last episode. We've designated a space for our large taxiway. Now we get to the business of actually designing this medium terminal. So let's talk about how we're going to space everything out. Now, first things first, we are going to start hitting this this section here. Remember, we're talking about we're going to use that prong layout, prong for lack of a better term, where your terminal kind of extends upwards with airport stands on either side, and then there's like a central concourse that can connect this terminal. I don't know about spacing. We may or may not be able to fit 3 in this tiny space here. So to figure that out, let's put down our medium aircraft parking stand. I am going to leave a little bit of space up top for any of our service vehicles to cross over. We do have to keep that in mind. Service vehicles are going to need some space. I also think we talked about 12 or so width on our terminal. So let's put that down. Let's go ahead and give ourselves a little bit of space to work with. And then we'll throw down 4 more medium aircraft stand on the other side. If I could click the evil button that keeps dodging me. There we go. So 4 more aircraft stands here. Beautiful. We'll do... I mean, I kind of smushed this together. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day, I don't think. So let's give it... We'll do a little bit wider than normal because we are servicing... we're servicing 2 sides, I suppose, for lack of a better word. Also, let's measure how wide everything is. So from taxiway to taxiway, it's about 44 tiles. So if we use the same thing, roughly, 44 tiles would get us to about here. So it looks like we're only going to have room for 2 prongs of terminals. So total of 16 medium aircraft stands. And honestly, again, we're starting to learn the game. I think 16 is definitely enough to work with. So sounds good to me. Now, how are we going to do the rest of this? I at least want to do down here at the arrival section. I think I'm going to stick with, what the world? Why is everything like on one? Did we just get all this stuff? Oh, my menus got like mushed together there. It was really weird. I think we're going to stick with 1 level to start with. I was thinking about it. Going 2 levels early on, that's going to be extra money for roads, extra money for even more, terminal access or parking access. Let's do the basic stuff first, and then as we get more money, if we get more money, I don't know, this might take us completely broke, then we'll start to do some stuff underground for arrivals. But for the moment, we'll stick with the basic stuff, although I might utilize the basement area for a terminal or security. But let's put down a parking area, because I do want to put down some parking. It's also realistic that you'd have at least some kind of parking in front of your airport. So I'm probably going to do something like this, stretched across the entirety of wherever our front of the airport winds up being. So I'm just doing this for space right now. So probably something like that. Also, where's the bus stop? Let's just put down a bus stop to give us an idea of spacing. Okay, so it does leave us with a little bit of space here. So 2 wide for that. I'm going to put a sidewalk in between this, and then I'm going to put down a normal road here. So I'm separating out the bus lane from the, I guess, private or taxi arrival area, because we did have that really weird issue with buses where people are stretched across into the terminal, and I'd rather just try moving people down into their own, I guess, space for getting on the buses. So that might take care of some of those problems. Buses also can cause some traffic pileups, so by having them separated, I'm hoping that's going to ease up on any kind of traffic issues. But that is roughly the front. So that means we have this much space to work with between where people are actually getting on and off the aircraft and where people are going to be checking in and doing stuff like that. Now, you know what? I was kind of thinking, why do we have to make something that stretches all the way across? Why don't we utilize the underground space instead? So say, for example, this is the front of our terminal. We have a section where people get dropped off and picked up. I will make this wider as time goes on, but to start this, development, I'm thinking about having it right here. So then we would have an escalator. I probably have to match the space down below too. So we'll at least have an escalator somewhere like this. Now, this terminal does not require anything above it. We're actually building underneath our taxiway right here. So people come in. I went too deep there. They're going to come into the building. They're going to go downstairs, and then they're going to go through a very large security area. Once they go through security, why don't we have a little tunnel here that goes over into the main part of the terminal. This is how wide? 15 wide. So we'll go the same distance on this side. So you come in, you check in, you go through a hallway, and then you go up another escalator right into your main terminal. And I believe this is going to count as all being one terminal because it's all connected. That is a theory anyways. Also, we could do something like this, where anyone who's arriving from their flight, whatever it happens to be, they can just come out this way and go through a secure exit into the main part of, the entryway of the airport. So that could help with the flow of traffic. I'm not entirely sure if it's going to work out this way, but I want to test it out and just see at least if this idea is feasible. And I think it's not going to kill us in money. Now down the road, what we might wind up doing is putting some shops underneath here. We could widen the hallway and put shops on either side. And we are underground, but that doesn't necessarily matter. People still need to eat. People still need to use the restroom. When we're talking about upstairs here, we might not have as much space to work with. We're going to have at least large seating for, like 80 or so people, 90 or so people that are on a smaller flight or the medium aircraft flight. So to get a sense, damn it, me and my evil clicking here. And remember, when we put these seats between terminals or between boarding areas, they are going to have to share the seating. So that's 20, 40, 60. And more than likely, when we wind up going to international flights, I probably will redesign the entire airport. We're going to save up a ton of money if we can, and we're going to make a brand new terminal because everything's going to be a little bit different with large aircraft. And we're not going to go nothing but large aircraft, right? Because that's not really all that realistic. Oh, the design changes too on either side. But either way, that's 20, 40, 60, 120, and 180. So 180 between two boarding areas should be enough. That does leave us with a good amount of space in the middle. Now, traditionally, what would you say? I guess in a normal airport, you might have something like this. You'd actually have a center area where everyone walks down, and then you would have your shops. Let me actually just put down the wall tool if I can find it. Here we go. And then like between the gates, you'll actually find something like this. You'll find a section where it's just bathrooms, where it might be shops or something like that. And I think that's okay as long as we have enough seating in the gate area. And with this layout, if we have shops or bathrooms on either side, I think we'll have enough room to go back one more row with seating, or alternatively, we can put down seating like this and then rotate it and kind of keep it really tight. That's actually quite a lot of seating. That should be more than enough seating. And that way we can tuck a building right next to one side of our gate. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 20, 40, 60, 80. That's plenty of seating for these two terminals. We even could still add like maybe like some areas I'll have a different layout. So we could add more seating on this side like this. And there's actually like a recharging table or a laptop table here. Plenty of room to still add stuff and have a main open area for people to walk through. So I think this is going to be fine. So something like that. I'll actually leave that so that we kind of have an idea of how the layout will work. And then we'll figure out how wide we want our hallway to be. Maybe like 4 tiles wide. So if that's the case, we can put down some walls here. What did I give myself? Like a space on this side? So 1, 2, it's hard to see the squares a little bit. About 4 tiles on that other side. Yeah, I think this will work out. I think it's okay. We'll do something like this for a moment just to test it out. And that'll leave a lot of space in the middle. We can put down some restaurants. Once we still have to research restaurants, we could put those here. We'll include some bathrooms between everything. Downstairs will still just be kind of a walkway, but that should be a direct path for everyone to get into their, required zone. So how do escalators work? They're like witchcraft. How do escalators work? Let's go into the, oh God, what would it be under? Right here, under terminal, escalator. Has to be underneath the terminal. And then we pretty much are just going to place it. So we'll put this at kind of like roughly the edge. And I'll also leave like a little bit of a space on either side for people who are coming up. But I actually want to have a ton of escalators here. How much do they cost? 5,000. That's not terrible. So that is the escalator area. Now, if we mark down the security zone, obviously this entire section is going to be secure. We can save a little money by kind of deleting this space here. Oh, you know what I'm forgetting too? Staff areas. And Oh, check-in. I completely forgot about check-in too. Now, check-in is going to be another beast entirely. So, that's okay. That can still work in our plan of having everything downstairs. We'll give ourselves more space in terms of where we place this hallway. Check-in can be on either side of this area here. So we can have people come down. Where is the check-in desk? We've got a ton of check-in desks over here. This would actually work out because what we can do from here is run the baggage system downstairs, because there's still one more layer downstairs we can still access, and we can have those really, really small. Okay, that could work out. Where are people going to collect their baggage, though? On either side of the, I guess, main terminal? Maybe when you're coming out, you go to whatever baggage area. Maybe they're tied together. So a plane that arrives here, all the planes arriving here would all be tied to this baggage system. I'm not sure if we could make that work or not, because the baggage system would have to be tied to all of the check-in desks. It's kind of confusing. I'll tell you what, let me mess around a little bit with some layouts and some designs, and I'll come back and we'll talk about what might work, what might not work. Also, keep in mind, we only have about 686,000 left with the current iteration of the current design. So I know that we want to at least roughly at the basic level have this right here. So we're really only left with about 686,000, and that's got to include baggage handling and stuff like that too. Okay, so I think I have a better idea of maybe one method of doing this. I know we're really tight on space, and I did use a lot of space down here and a little bit of extra space up top too, but we are trying to smush in a medium airport only in 2 tiles. So, you know, there are some sacrifices I think that must be made. But how about trying this for the moment? 8 check-in desks, 1 for each gate that we currently have placed down. So people get dropped off. They're going to immediately go to their check-in. Well, we'll have a bunch of seating here for folks who arrive early, but they will go to their check-in desk. They'll immediately come down here to go under to get into the open security area. So we'll put down some of, actually, I think I need to put in the security, zone over here. So we'll throw down a bunch. And we also actually don't know how well our security zones will handle traffic. So that's going to be something else we need to learn. But there's, for the moment, 4 security zones to start with. And then, of course, like I mentioned before, we'll do the same thing. We'll have a bit of a tunnel that leads over to whatever gate they're going to. So about 15 from the main section, just like before. And then escalators up into their terminal. That's where they're going to go board their flight. Now, people who are leaving their flight, I was wondering about using the same space we have available. So say down here, let's open up this little bit of space that we have kind of behind the escalators. So remember, this is going to be kind of the escalator area for arriving passengers. But down here, we could actually try to have a shared baggage space. I don't know what the baggage system looks like. We do have like a domestic baggage claim area. It's just a zone. And I'm not entirely sure how you're supposed to make the baggage area work. However, I think we can kind of slot it in here. So people who are arriving from both terminals will come here to get their baggage. And then we throw, it's kind of a pain in the butt because we're going to have some seating here. But we could do, can you actually have, hang on, can you have for funsies, let's expand this zone a bit. Can we have an escalator leading out of the basement up into the daylight for fun and adventure here? So must be placed underneath the terminal. So we have to have some kind of a terminal here. That's fair. But we could, let's make sure it's floor above must be cleared. So we could add a little tiny bit more extension over in this side for whatever. 5x3, that's fine. We're down to about 545,000. However, we're in a little bit better shape because we're mostly where we need to be in terms of what we're going to be using, right? So $500,000, we can play with things like parking stand, or sorry, our fuel trucks and stuff like that. It's going to be tight on money. We might need to dip into the second loan, which I'm a little concerned that we're not going to be making enough. But I'm really concerned that I'm going to miss something and not be ready for it, basically. We'll be like, oh crap, we're broke and we can't do this particular thing. But it is a learning experience, my friends, and so we're going to try it out. So this is roughly 11 from the center, and you are roughly 12 because we have to have everything even. I will kill that. So yeah, that could be where folks come over from both sides. And then, of course, I'll just put, extend a little tiny hallway here. I think this is, where's the center of our walkway? Right here. So, like this and this. And then we shall put one tiny escalator. This is going to be so crazy. People are going to be like, why is this the worst airport in the world? Literally the worst airport. And I'll be like, you know what? We're creative. We have to start. We're an island. We're an island airport nation. We have to be small and start small and humble. There we go. So that's coming from upstairs to downstairs. So people are going to come that are kind of arriving. They'll come down the hallway. They'll go into the escalator. They'll go into their basement tunnel. And they'll come into this zone here and collect all of their baggage, whatever is necessary for them to GTFO. And then we shall put down another set of escalators, because why not? Right over on either side. Of course, I've got the spacing wrong. So something like this. Is that correct? Yeah, the higher end is on that side. So escalators on the side, that's going to bring them up. And then we'll have like a little door for them to leave. And then they can come out onto the departure area. That should keep them independent of the arrival area, which should help with seating and stuff like that. We can even wall it off, add one more tile on either side, and then put down a little door. And then they'll walk wherever they need to go. I don't think that it matters that the rating, I don't know if it matters too much on how far they have to walk after a flight or something. But, whew, that's my theory. That is the theory of how we're going to design this airport. It's kind of ugly, and I'm not sure if I'm going to like it. I'm not sure if you're going to like it either, but it is something to, to experiment with. Let me extend real quick. I want to go ahead and extend a space so we can include an escalator for the folks who are going on a flight. So an escalator going up here in the center. There we go. And then they're right in the middle of their terminal. They can go wherever they want. We're definitely utilizing a lot more Z space, the vertical space, than other airports would. And once we have a sprawling mega airport, we'll definitely do a more traditional approach. But for the moment, we're going to use what we have. Now, the hardest part is kind of including some space for the staff as well as the baggage system. So right now, let's cover the basics. We have one more thing to add, or major thing to add, is a sidewalk across. Ooh, hang on. Shoot. Oh, all this stuff that I did, and I may have screwed it up because I didn't account for the spacing of, right here, the parking area. But that's okay. We can go down to one road. It's not like it's going to kill us. For at least the passenger traffic is a little bit better when it comes to taking curves. Also, they're not really smart. Like, if you go pick someone up at the airport, you normally would get over to this side and go down the far road. They don't do that. They'll just stay on the near lane. So I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. So we will include, just to give us a sense of space and whatnot, a couple of parking areas, and then we'll have our sidewalk. And I'm going to spruce up the sidewalk, also the parking area off camera, or just between cuts here, so that you don't have to watch me do all of that. But that's roughly how we're going to have this. So people come in, they get dropped off. They go to their check-in desk, they say, hi, I'm going on my flight, and they're like, yeah, go down the escalator, and the people are like, really? Okay. So we go down the escalator, we go through security, and then once they're through security, they will go into the escalator up here, and then they will be in the main terminal for their flight. Got it. That's step one. Now the rest of this is going to be another mega bitch. How do we handle the rest of our supporting systems, the vehicles and whatnot? So number one, we have to put down a service road. So we're going to put down the service road right here. That's going to at least let our trucks get to the main sections of the runway. Got it. Now, we did add some new stuff. We added a bigger fuel depot because I think these larger ones are going to need more. So, this is going to be at least 4 wide. So let's put this as 37,000. Thankfully, we still have enough money for this fuel depot. Yeah, let's put the fuel depot right next to where the airplanes are. No problem. We still only have a small ATC. I think I'm going to save. I guess we'll keep the depot for vehicles here because really this can hold like 18 vehicles and we're not really at the limit yet. Everything is close enough where the travel time is not going to really affect our service vehicles. So at least this part is set. We're going to have to include things like turnaround vehicles though. We're going to have to include things like services once we move into providing de-icing and things like that. Now the baggage system, what is this? Baggage bay. This is used for the unloading and offloading of baggage to and from baggage trucks. Uh-oh. This is going to require a little bit of space. Oh, shoot. Something new that we did not quite know about. So, you're rather large. Where do we fit you into all of this? We could have the baggage system go under and then out over here. That's a possibility. We could cut into the terminal or make a decline, kind of a tunnel down for our... Ooh, that actually might be what we have to do here. A road going down. And then it kind of tucks in to a little bay. It would also work because most of our baggage, I think, is going to have to go down and then kind of hide from where our people are. So, why don't we look at that? How do we make a road down? Let's go to infrastructure. This is the road tunnel down. So road tunnel down would be too wide. It would take up an entire section. Okay, that's okay. We can do this. We can make this happen. Let's clear this out. I'm glad I left a little tiny bit of space here. My subconscious was like, you're going to need 2 more tiles. So this will be the road around if you don't need to go down. Okay. If you need to go down, we shall put down our road tunnel. Shit, is this going to have to go down and up? No, it'll enables vehicles to pass. God, maybe? So road tunnel down here. Okay. Oops, hang on. Sorry, that's reversed. Let's go back to that one more time. So road tunnel down, service vehicle going down here. So it's going to have to be... God, where do we put it at? This is going down. I think it's like... This would be the road, right? That makes sense, I hope. And then going up would be, I guess, on the other side of it. Like that. Oops. I imagine I have to place it on the Z level that we wanted at. Okay, so we want it to come up to about here. Oh man, that's funky. Okay, that's fine. Next up, I think this building has to be inside of a terminal section. So let's add this little bit of terminal. Take out the wall. Add in our service road. Actually, let's add in the baggage thing itself to figure out what the spacing is. So here is the baggage bay. It's off center and it's going to like make me cry inside. That's okay. We're fine. This is fine. So it does bother me so much. This is our area. Service road is going to be placed in here. The road across, right? Is this all making sense? I guess a road across the back if we wanted to. So I guess you come in, you get whatever you need. You're going to immediately turn around. I have no idea how this is going to be realistically, like in practice. So let's leave a little space on either side to let, to kind of mess around with the road. Ooh, we're getting really tight on money. However, we are relatively close to being where we need to be. So adding just a smidge more of our service road. Let's, I guess, leave a road to loop behind. I have no idea. Again, no idea. This is all new to me. So is this right? It's complaining about road access. However, I mean, this wants to go... Maybe it's reversed. Maybe I've got it in the wrong direction. Does it have to be like this? That doesn't really make sense with the way the tunnel is. Let's see. Tunnel up. Okay, it actually liked that one. So... Oh, interesting. Okay, so that's really weird graphics. Okay, fair enough. Whatever. It seems to not complain anymore, so I think it's happy. So, that is that. We have our baggage bay, whatever, for lack of a better term. That's going to be where the vehicles pick up the baggage. Oh, man, we are so tight on money. Is there anything else we need to get out? Also, when we start building this, by the way, we're going to start draining money like crazy, so I am a little bit concerned. I do want to try to put out as much as I can before going in the red. So security is taken care of. Let's also throw down and designate this area as secure because, well, it is. Okay, all new or all security zone. I got to remove some of these crazy other zones here. So everything is secure from here on out, just like that. This is also going to be secure until we get to the security exit, which will be something like right here. How big is this? Just this wide. All right, so we'll put it right about there. That is our secure exit. And you know what? I'm going to be so official. I'm going to put a wall there so people just don't go reverse it and go out. That is taken care of that. Now, We've got a couple more things we wanted to add. I at least have space to add a bathroom, I think, right now, so that's good. How much do boarding desks themselves cost? Here is a medium boarding desk. This is going to cost us a cool, very cheap. Okay, no problem there. That's not going to break the bank. We did put down our medium fuel. Ooh, we have to make the baggage system itself. I have no idea how much that's going to run us. So let's do this. So baggage starts off here. People are dropping off their baggage. I believe when our employees go to the check-in desk, they don't walk behind. They actually just go in the center and then go to their chair. So back here, we can throw down. We can do one of two things. We can either do the flat conveyor belt going like, say, all this way, or we can put a down, what is this, like an escalator down for the baggage. I think it would make more sense just to have it all go one direction here. So all the baggage goes like this, right? So it goes onto the ramp, it gets loaded, it gets dumped one level down from there. And so we are going to have to include some more stuff. God, this is going to be annoying. The upside is we don't have to have a ton of... Wait, this will need a terminal because people have to get to it, right? It's not terribly expensive. We're going to have a bit of a problem where we have to go down even deeper and then back up. And then this stretches all the way over to where our... Oof, man, this is going to be crazy. This is going to be a super crazy layout. Let's actually not even use walls here so we can make the most of this space underground. It's just going to be a mud tunnel is all it's going to be. Okay. That is where, oh, this is the ugliest and most beautiful airport at the same time. So let me grab the downward escalator for baggage one more time, going in this direction. And then we're going to extend the baggage like so. Straight over. Now I'm actually going to change it right here and have it stick on the right wall. All the way to go down to avoid our our tunnel. This is the most convoluted baggage system, and I love it. I love every bit of it. Everyone's going to be amazed. They're going to be like, how does your baggage get so organized? And we're going to be like, it's a trade secret. We'd have to kill you if we showed you, but you all are going to actually know the truth. How much are we sitting on right now? This is going to cost, at least it's cheap. This is relatively cheap. Okay, so that is that. Where does the baggage actually... Oh, we actually do have to separate this road. Fair enough. We have to kill that road design because we have to have room for the baggage to go through. So, baggage coming this way in. Something baggagey this way comes. Lovely and lovely. Just like that. So that's where baggage arrives. Same thing in reverse. So baggage is going to be going down this way. I think this is going to work. I hope this is going to work. I've never touched baggage yet, so this is all relatively new. I'll put down the escalator things here in a minute. Here, though, I guess we can just do... Here, you know what? I want to change this up just a notch. We're going to kind of hink the escalator or the baggage system over just a notch right here. There we go. So we're going to make it run along that wall. We'll have this one come all the way over here, and then I guess we'll hook it over and connect it with wherever our main pickup is going to be. Again, have no idea how the pickup works either. I don't see like a traditional carousel like you might normally have, so a little bit awkward. Okay, since I have no idea how people are supposed to pick their baggage up, I'm going to stretch this across like this, and I think we can designate this entire zone to be baggage pickup. I believe, and I don't know how people are going to interact with this, but we're going to just stretch it all the way across. This is the baggage pickup zone. Baggage claim. Fair enough. It's all going to be there. I have no idea. Area requires conveyor belts and part of a non-secure zone. Roger that. That is all set. We will wall off everything but this little tiny gap so that the people don't know how the magic works. And I think we're okay. Right? So people come to the airport. They're going to get dropped off however they choose to get dropped off. They will come check in their baggage. Ooh, crap. I didn't quite take that side into account, but that's fine. We can just hang on. Where do we dip down? Crap. I did not take that into account. We'll dip down 2 levels and then come back up and connect with this main line of baggage. That's fine. So they drop their baggage off. It goes on its own little journey all the way over to the baggage area to load onto a plane, right? Or the baggage depot. The people, meanwhile, go down through security, will go out into whatever part of the terminal they need to do to get on the plane. They'll get on the plane, come out, and go down the escalator, go through the secure zone, get their baggage, and then leave the airport and be happy that they visited such a convoluted, awful airport. This is awesome. All right, we're going to let this, I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup, and I'm going to come back and show you the final layout of everything, and that's pretty much going to be most of the episode, is all talk and no building. So sorry about that, but it is very important, I think, that we get this medium terminal hopefully set. Now, the problem is, what happens when we add the second terminal and we get 8 more gates? Do we add 8 more check-in desks? I guess we could do that and then just extend. We could extend where our escalators out are. That could be a possibility. Alternatively, we could have a little tunnel underground that stretches over, I guess across the parking area and then comes up over here. That's a bit ugly though. I'm not sure if I like that idea or not, but it is food for thought. All right, I'll be right back after just a few minutes of messing around with some design, and I will kind of show you what we wind up with. All right, friends, I think possibly we may have just achieved design nirvana. The one thing I forgot about, and then I'm going to regret later, I should have moved the constructor or the contractor arrival area. Like, I should have built this section of road before anything else was done, and then move the tools, or I guess the items, over here, because what's going to happen is all of our items are about to be delivered right here. So all of our contractors will have to kind of do this run. In the long run, I guess it's not that big of a deal. We'll just wait another day or two. I will go ahead and deploy all contractors to the site. Oh, hey, we got, oh, wait a minute. New contracting company, 165, $3.5 per hour. Brickley is 6.7. I'm actually going to cancel our contract and sign a new contract with Blue Build, since they are going to have more contractors, which means obviously more money at any given time, but the airport will be constructed faster. So I've redesigned some of our area. This is like the dead center of the airport, so I figured this is where everybody will kind of filter into. So the personal drop-offs are here. The buses will be coming. Again, it will flow from right to left. I will change the side where the buses turn in. But we got a crosswalk here. They come in. They do their business. I wound up just looping the luggage around. And I know we will have to redesign the luggage later once we have a better feel for how things are going to work. I will probably make the luggage bay that we have underneath on this side, I'll move it over here so that both areas can share the luggage truck or what have you. So we'll figure out how that works down the road. But so far so good. We don't have a staff area, which I will have to add in at some point. I'll probably honestly just create a gap and have a staff area in here. But I think security is set, where people come into their flights is set. All I have to do at this point is pray that we have everything needed in one fell swoop, because after a minute, we're going to be out of money. So here's to hoping I didn't forget all that much, but we're going to let the contractors do their thing. I think this is a good point to put a cut in the episode. It's going to be a lot of waiting for our contractors to build everything. God, did I forget it? We got a runway, right? We're not missing anything else horrible. And then down the road, what we could do is very easily move this to the second floor, like, where people are actually getting on the plane. We'll do the jetway and stuff like that. The first floor is could be used for staff rooms. It could be used for moving the escalators between point A and point B. It could be used for people, controlling the flow of traffic. There's a bunch more options once we wind up going to the second floor of our departures and stuff like that. We can build the jetway and all that jazz. But for the moment, oh crap, you know what I did forget? I forgot to run the taxiway foundation over a couple more notches to service these last few. There we go. Thankfully, not horribly screwed up at the moment. I mean, there's still hope that I blew something out of the water here. But I appreciate you guys joining me for this episode. Lots of talk, lots of design, not a whole lot of action. So thanks for sticking with me through this. We're gonna see how this turns out. Maybe it'll be great, maybe it'll be awful. Tune in next time to see the fruits of all of our labor. Thanks so much for joining me. My name has been Tobal. You've been awesome. Until next time, friends, be well.